Joining us now on the phone is Mr. David Kunick. David is the CEO of a company called UCS Advisors Incorporated. David, welcome back to the program.
Thanks for having me, Don. Always a pleasure.
Well, David, I know that your company helps small companies with funding and with awareness. Are those the two biggest challenges that are facing small companies these days?
Yeah, a lot of small companies, but a lot of challenges also, too, is that a lot of times these companies are not prepared to accept capital. They don't have a proper PowerPoint presentation, a proper pitch deck, even a one-page teaser. And part of what we do here at UCS Advisors is that we actually work with companies to make sure they have the proper pitch deck, to make sure they have the proper one-page teaser, and also, most importantly, on how to present properly to potential investors. So a lot of times, you can actually get a deal done, but people just don't know how to present the information properly.
Well, it's kind of interesting because the attention span of investors is pretty short, isn't it?
It is. It's very short, and that's why one of the biggest things we tell people all the time is failure to plan is planning to fail. Know your audience. How you present to one investor might not be the same exact way you present to a different investor.
Well, it's kind of fascinating because, of course, I bring companies to you on a regular basis. What is it you look for in a company when you're considering helping them out?
What we look for first and foremost is transparency. If you need help, a company may not be doing very well right now. So just tell us what the pain points are. And that's one of the biggest things when it comes to helping companies is that if you're having a struggle with something, if there's an issue within the company, talk about it. Let's come up with a game plan how we can overcome that issue. Because once you do that, then investors are more than willing to actually come talk to you once you acknowledge there is a problem and you're being proactive about it and want to fix it.
Well, it helps have a specific plan, too, in the use of proceeds, because a lot of times companies that you and I talk to have no idea how much they want or what they're going to do with it.
You're absolutely right, and that goes back to what I was saying before. Failure to plan is planning to fail. At the end of the day, what are you going to use the money for, and how long is that money going to last for? On top of that also is how are you going to pay back the investor? What's the game plan for paying back the investor? Because if you are going to present and ask for money and you're not going to tell the investor how they're going to get paid back, that investor is going to walk away right away.
Now, we hear a lot about toxic funding, death spiral funding they talk about. How do you help counsel companies to avoid that?
Well, there are not every toxic funding is toxic. And the reason why I bring that up is that a lot of times you need to communicate with your lenders. We talk with a lot of the companies about how to talk to the lenders on a regular basis. We get hired to actually talk to the lenders for companies as well, too. We also talk about with the funding and toxic funding is that there's a way you can avoid that and a proper game plan. And that goes back to, once again, failure to plan is planning to fail. You just can't plan for 6 months down the road. You need to be planning for the next 18 months, 24 months, 30 months.
If people want your help, want to get your advice, how can they best get in touch with you? Go to the website?
Exactly. Go to the website, ucsadvisor.com. Or if they want to email me directly, I'll be more than happy to take their emails, which is just david@ucsadvisor.com.
Once again, UCS Advisors Incorporated, David Kunick. David, always a pleasure having you on the program. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Don.